I was actually in the Army for 5 years. And I loved it. I was really good at what I did. And I was jumping out of planes. I was doing the whole thing.
What?
I was like
Straight
on my
badass.
GI Jane
Okay.
shit. Yeah.
No, the fuck you did.
I was a paratrooper.
Really?
And yeah, so I jumped out of planes. That was like conquering one of my biggest fears.
Yeah.
But then I got into an airborne accident and I medically retired in 2019.
Time out. What's an airborne accident for the civilian?
So airborne operations is just jumping out of planes. And what happened in my accident was basically when I tucked my chin to land to prevent concussion, because you land pretty hard. When I tucked my chin to land, there was a butterfly connector snap on my reserve parachute, which rests in the front. And when I tucked my chin, it came up and filleted my nose in half.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, dog.
Damn.
And so after that,
it didn't like knock you out or anything?
No,
like
it didn't. But it was super traumatic.
Yeah.
And after it happened, I was just in a really bad mental health space. I had a 6-month-old daughter at the time.
Yeah.
And I just knew I had to make a decision to separate myself from that toxic environment. And so I medically retired. I had a couple regular jobs in between. I decided to take content creation more seriously when COVID hit.
Yeah.
Which is like a lot of creators really
like
zoned in around that time. Yeah. So I can truly say I've done it all. Like,
I mean, it sounds like it.
yeah, I can truly say I've done it all. I've had like 9 lives.
So starting in 2020, you know, roughly when you started doing OnlyFans, what was that like? Did you start doing like solo videos? Did you start working with other guys, other girls?
So I started off, I had a joint account with my sister.
Oh shit.
And we had a podcast together and everything, and it was something we were doing together. Eventually we kind of realized she wanted to go a different route. And I kind of wanted to go full head on, like create content.
Yeah.
I knew I had fun doing it. I was good at doing it. And I was like, let me just make my own separate account and kind of see what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
When I first started, I definitely was very, I guess, frugal with what I would post. I was very much doing like teasers and stuff like that.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah,
I was
gatekeeping
totally
everyone.
gatekeeping. And then I was like, why am I holding back?
Yeah.
Like, this is fun. I have fun doing it. And I just kind of started to do all genres.
Did you always look like this even in the Army?
I looked a little bit different in the Army.
Yeah.
Because I was young. I joined when I was 18.
Oh, wow.
You know, I joined right out of high school. And my first duty station was actually South Korea. So that is actually where I got pregnant with my daughter.
Oh, so you were in the Army getting freaky out here. Hey, okay.
Yeah, I got pregnant by my platoon sergeant.
No.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy.
I definitely have
What?
always had like a freaky side for sure.
So I know there's another content creator who was, I think, in the Navy.
Yeah. You heard of her? Miss B. Nasty? Yeah.
Yes, I love her.
Yeah,
What?
so-
Yeah.
Something about military women being freaky, transitioning to OnlyFans.
It's a real life thing.
Is that
huh?
a trend?
I think that I'm seeing more of it now than ever.
Yeah.
But I think that the I guess behind all that is like you're so disciplined when you're in the military and you have to do things a certain way. So when you get out, you're like, I just want to do things how I want to do them.
Yeah. So,
You know?
So when you started to, you know, releasing, you know, that good shit, like the twerking videos, like all the shit that, you know, you're kind of like well known for now, when do you start, you know, making that transition where you're like, all right, bet I made X amount of money doing this. You know, so I'm gonna put some more oil on my booty and make, you know, 10 grand doing that at my house versus like, I'm just gonna take like a little thirst trap, you know, with clothes on. Like, when was that mental switch for me where you're like, oh, I need to go full in?
I think there were a lot of mental barriers that I had to break through.
Yeah.
Because I am a mom and I'm also a content creator. People outside the industry do tend to be kind of closed and small-minded when it comes to what we do. And so I had to break those barriers mentally myself and be like, okay, what am I comfortable with?
Yes.
And as I got comfortable, I was just like, okay, if I'm comfortable with it, I don't care who it bothers.
Yeah. So when were the people, your fans, asking like, damn, or Fit Mommy,
We need more like
Fit Mommy, we want to see you fucking, you know, X, Y, and Z, this type of content creator. We want to see you working with other men.
Right.
When did you start working with other men?
Well, a lot of my a lot of my fan base does come from the military. I have a lot of veterans on my account, and also like my drill sergeants subscribe
they still tap in.
And that was kind of funny to me because I was just like, I knew y'all were holding out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but like I said, it just, you get more comfortable the longer you're in the business. And
sure.
I got to a point where I felt safest doing this.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not just hooking up with someone from the club who's not tested. Like, that is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
That's like a common misconception that people
totally
think
crazy.
Porn stars are content creators. I'm not saying everybody's like this, but you know, we regularly get tested every like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And when I wasn't in the industry, I couldn't tell you, like I maybe got tested once a year.
Yeah, because it's like the sexual education isn't there.
Yeah.
And you don't realize the severity of it until you do catch something and maybe it's not curable. And then what? You know?
Yo, we just hit 400,000 subscribers right here on the Clips channel. So if you want to help us out, click subscribe, get us to 500K. Yeah.